Chapter 8. Princes take flight. When generals Chao Tian and Chao Lei brought Jiang Huan into the West Palace, concubine Huang said, "Queen Jiang, your enemies arrived." Queen Jiang opened her eye. "You wretch! Who is it that pays you to make false accusations against me? Heaven will punish you for this. I dared not refuse the orders you gave me. How can you deny that, Your Majesty?" Concubine Huang became enraged. "Jiang Huan, you vile clod! Queen Jiang's been cruelly tortured, even though she's entirely innocent. For this act, heaven won't spare you." In the East Palace, Crown Prince Ying Jiao and his brother Prince Ying Hong were playing chess when the eunuch Yang Rong hurried in. "Your Highness, a great calamity's about to befall you." Ying Jiao was only 14 years old, and Ying Hong 2 years his junior. Neither of them paid any attention to Yang Rong's report. "Your Highness, stop your game. A true disaster's taken place, and will bring both your family and the entire kingdom to ruin," Yang Rong said again. The two looked up from their game and asked, "What great calamity you say's taking place right here in the palace?" Yang Rong was all tears. "Someone's dared to slander the queen with a false accusation, and His Majesty's deceived. Her Majesty was tried in the West Palace. When she denied the accusation, one of her eyes was gouged out, and then her hands were burnt to ashes. I urge you to hurry to her rescue." Ying Jiao let out a roar and ran with his brother to the West Palace. When they got there and saw the pathetic condition the queen was in, they knelt down beside her and sobbed. "Why have you been so cruelly tortured, mother? Even if you had committed a crime, as queen you're not to be subjected to torture." Hearing their voices, Queen Jiang opened her eye. "My sons, look at your mother. I've lost my eye and my hands. Jiang Huan's made a false accusation of me, and Daji convinced the king to torture me. You must clear your mother of this injustice and seek revenge." She cried out bitterly and soon died. The brothers saw a man still kneeling at one side. "Who's Jiang Huan, and where is he now?" Ying Jiao asked. Lady Huang pointed to Jiang Huan and said, "That man kneeling there, your mother's deadly enemy." The crown prince was so enraged that he grabbed a sword hanging on the gate of the West Palace and slashed Jiang Huan in two. In seconds, the ground was covered with blood. But slaying Jiang Huan served only to fire his rage. "I'll cut off Daji's head in revenge for my mother." Ying Jiao cried, and sword in hand, he flew out of the palace. Chao Tian and Chao Lei, fearing that the crown prince would kill them next, fled before him to the Fairy Longevity Palace. Concubine Huang was shocked. "The boy's too young to understand what's happening," she said, and called to Ying Hong. "Hurry and tell your brother to come back here at once. I've something to say." Ying Hong rushed after Ying Jiao. "Brother, Lady Huang wants you to go back at once. She has something urgent to tell you," he cried. Ying Jiao heard this and returned to the West Palace. "Dear Prince, you've acted too rashly. Now that you've killed Jiang Huan, how can we ever learn the truth? If he were still alive, I could have tortured him with the burning dipper and found out who was behind him. Now that he's dead, what can I do? I'm afraid Chao Tian and Chao Lei have already reported everything to the king, and you'll have trouble soon." Concubine Huang reprimanded Ying Jiao. The boys expressed their regrets, but it was too late. Chao Tian and Chao Lei had rushed into the Fairy Longevity Palace. "The princes are rushing over here with their swords drawn," they reported. "Those treacherous young curs. Their mother sent an assassin to murder me, for which I've yet to put her to death. How dare they try to kill their father? They must die at once. I hereby order Chao Tian and Chao Lei to decapitate those unfilial brats with my dragon phoenix sword." The king, infuriated, cried out the order. Back at the West Palace, concubine Huang had heard the report that Chao Tian and Chao Lei are coming with the king's sword to decapitate the two princes. She rushed out to the palace gate, met the two generals, and demanded to know what they were about. By order of His Majesty, we've come to cut off the heads of the two princes as punishment for attempting to kill their father. You stupid fools! The two princes chased you out of here just now. Why don't you go and look for them in the East Palace? Why do you come looking for them here? You're just utilizing His Majesty's orders as an excuse to wander around the inner palace and insult His Majesty's concubines and maidservants. You two wretches are out to cheat and offend His Majesty. I'd chop your donkey heads off right now, if you didn't have the king's sword. Get out of here immediately. Frightened, Chao Tian and Chao Lei immediately made their way to the East Palace. Concubine Huang went back inside. That tyrant's killed his wife and now he wants to kill his sons. I can't protect you here, so you'd better seek shelter in the fragrant palace with concubine Yang for a few days. You'll be safe once a powerful minister speaks to His Majesty on your behalf. She told the two princes. The two princes knelt down and expressed their gratitude. Dear lady, you had better leave here as soon as possible. I'll try to do as you say. The concubine reassured them. The two princes left the palace and made their way to Fragrant Palace. They found concubine Yang leaning on the gate, anxious to hear about the fate of Queen Jiang. The two princes ran forward, knelt down before her, and started to cry. This surprised concubine Yang. How's your mother, my good princes? She asked them. Jin Jiao was all tears again. My father's been taken in by Daji and does whatever she says. He's tortured mother to death. And now he listens to Daji again and wants to kill us. I beg you to save our lives. Concubine Yang wept aloud. My good princes, come in quickly. She told them. She thought to herself. When the generals find that the princes are not in the East Palace, they're bound to come here looking for them. I'll get rid of them first and then decide on the next step. She went out again and stood at the gate of the palace. She soon saw the generals bounding up like wolves. Guards, arrest these men. This is the inner palace, where intrusion is forbidden under penalty of death. She ordered. Chao Tian and Chao Lei stepped forward respectfully. Honorable lady, we're Chao Tian and Chao Lei. On His Majesty's order, we're here to search for the two princes. They said. The princes are in the East Palace. How dare you be so rude as to come to my fragrant palace? I would have you arrested if you weren't sent by the king. Get out of here now. Concubine Yang shouted at the top of her voice. Chao Tian and Chao Lei dared not say anything and left. When they were outside, Chao Lei said to his brother, We've been to 3 palaces already, but we still can't find the princes. We're strangers here and don't know our way around. We should return to the Fairy Longevity Palace and report this to His Majesty. After the generals left, concubine Yang returned to her apartments. This isn't a safe place for you, dear princes. There are too many ears and eyes about, and it's difficult to predict what the king will do next. I suggest that you go to the Grand Hall and speak with Wei Zi, Jizi, Wei Ziyun, and Huang Feihu. Even if your father makes trouble for you, they'll protect you. She told the princes. The two princes kowtowed to her in gratitude and bade her farewell in tears. When they left, concubine Yang sat alone on a silk cushion in her own room. Queen Jiang was the queen, but she died tragically, a victim of torture and injustice. What can I expect as a mere concubine? Daji makes use of her position to deceive the king. If someone reports to her that the two princes were here, I'll be found guilty and suffer terrible tortures. Though I've served the king for many years, I haven't borne him any children. The crown prince is his own child, yet he feels no fatherly affection for him. Now that he's killed his wife and ordered his son's death, the sacred relationships between husband and wife, father and son, and king and ministers have been defiled. My future's dark. Very little hope remains. She pondered and mourned over her fate. She then shut herself in her inner room and hanged herself. When King Zhou learned of her death, he was puzzled as to why she had taken such a step, and ordered that her coffin be placed in the White Tiger Hall, according to the customary funeral rites. When Chao Tian and Chao Lei arrived at the Fairy Longevity Palace, they saw concubine Huang entering to make her report. "Is Queen Jiang dead?" King Zhou asked her. "Yes, she is. But before she took her last breath, she cried out, 'I've served His Majesty for 16 years and borne him 2 sons, one of them the Crown Prince. I've always behaved myself carefully, performing my duties faithfully. I still don't know who it is that dispatched Jiang Huan to assassinate His Majesty and to accuse me of treason. Though I've been queen, this is of no more significance than fleeting clouds, now that the king's love has flowed away like a river. I'm dying more wretchedly than the birds and beasts. I cannot right the injustice done me, and can only trust that future generations will judge me fairly. Now her corpse is still lying in the West Palace. I pray that Your Majesty might take it into consideration that she's the mother of the Crown Prince, and grant her a coffin and the right to be placed in the White Tiger Hall in accordance with the burial rites. That way your officials will be satisfied, and you'll preserve your sovereignty virtue." King Zhou approved her request, and when she had left, turned to Chao Tian and Chao Lei. "Where are the princes? We looked in the East Palace, but couldn't find them. They aren't in the West Palace or the Fragrant Palace either. If they weren't there, then they must have fled to the Grand Hall. Go arrest them and put them to death," King Zhou ordered.